What's on, everyone? Jeremy here from, the Jeremy Hambley channel. This is my main channel, or my personal channel that I do videos on every day. You may recognize me from the quartering or on social media or wherever you might see me around. But if you want a little more spicier take, a little less censored, a little less, maybe a little more fiery, that's what you get on this channel. And I hope that you'll subscribe down below because it helps a ton. The Backfire, or the response to Charlie Kirk, to that absolute demon taking Charlie Kirk, has been so incredible so far. And there's a couple of things I just want to share because it's the backfire is going nuclear. Also, you know, in one way or another, I can say today is the first time I willingly went to church in probably my whole life. And I enjoyed service. It was good. And I'm going to go back next week. And that's because of Charlie Kirk. And whether or not that means anything to you, whether or not you're religious, that doesn't necessarily matter. Just, you know, I think people are, you know, having a reaction. People are making adjustments. Nearly $3 million raised for the Kirk family following his assassination, as Turning Point USA sees upward of 18,000 new chapter requests in a single night. 18,000. Now, to put that in perspective, okay, that number has now turned into 32,000. It has doubled in the last 12 hours. This article is from last night. It's at 32,000 now. And the number of chapters that exists now that never existed before is bonkers. I thought I had, I'm pretty sure I bookmarked it. The number of chapters that it actually had before was like a couple thousand. It was like a couple thousand new chapters. Let's try. I want to grab this quick. Sorry for the lack of professionalism, but that's what you get on this channel. You see, a Turning Point USA founded by Charlie Kirk had 9,000 college chapters and 11 high school ones. After Kirk's speech, 18,000 new chapters applications flooded in overnight. And by the way, that new number is now 32,000. So what is that? Almost a 400% increase in college chapters. Here, this is the text I was looking for. We have 18,000 new chapter requests since Erica spoke. We had 9,000 college chapters and 1,100 high school chapters prior to this. This is the turning point. That's from Matt at TPUSA. Eric Daughtry, this is not correct. They had college 9,000. Those aren't the right numbers, but like 32,000 in the last 48 hours. I went to church today. A lot of people went to church today. I'm not saying the only way to honor Charlie Kirk is to go to church. You could just get more involved in your local politics. You could get more involved in your family. You can get more involved online in communities. You know, there's a lot you can do. Regardless of how my church journey goes, this channel is not going to turn into you must go to church, you must go to church. I just hope that I can have good things to share with you about it and inspire people. Maybe, hey, you know what? Getting involved in community action groups, getting involved in TPUSA, also good. You see this 32,000 in 48 hours. That's not, quote, student interest. That's a generational revolt. When high school kids and college students are begging for chapters of Turning Point, it's a sign that the system's narrative monopoly is collapsing. Now, I don't know how many unique requests that is. You know, how many unique requests that ends up being. But millions in charitable donations have been raised for the family of Charlie Kirk, whose Turning Point USA received 18,000 new chapter requests. There's actually 32,000 since this. since Erica spoke out about the assassination of her husband and vowed to continue her work. More than $2.8 million has been collected for Erica Kirk and her 2 young children via the platform GiveSendGo, according to Fox News Digital. GiveSendGo has always been a place where people can immediately respond to a crisis within hours of Charlie's tragic death. Friends and supporters had set up a campaign. The fact that it took off so quickly shows how deeply his life impacted people. What we're seeing is that people wanted to respond quickly when tragedy strikes, and crowdfunding has become one of the primary ways to do that. Thousands of others are honoring Kirk's memory and his widow's call to action by trying to form their own chapters of his grassroots organization in Turning Point USA, which people should do. The fact that, okay, they had 9,000 before. Let's just say that number doubles to 18,000. Let's just say hypothetically that number doubles. You are now in double the colleges that you were a week ago, leading up to the midterms. Mobilizing. I mean, you have people like me who on my main channel of 1.8 million subscribers, you know, yeah, I only get maybe 100,000 views per video, but that's still a lot of people. When midterms come around, I'm going to be more involved than ever. Getting people to donate their time, to get out there door knocking. I went out there myself. If my fat butt can get out there and knock on doors, you can too. The surge came after Erica Kirk forcefully promised to expand the legacy of her slain husband, vowing during a speech Friday to continue his planned college tour this fall, during which he was assassinated. By the way, if Turning Point USA wants me to be there, I will be there, happily. The funeral, which will be attended by Donald Trump, is scheduled for Sunday, September 21st. The family announced on Saturday. You see a lot of people say, like, I'm a Trump supporter. I didn't know Charlie Kirk well. His message and my interest in politics just never crossed paths. But my 15 to 17-year-old boys were followers. My oldest, who told me he was shot, my point is saying that when I read 18,000 new chapters are forming, check that, 32,000, tripling the organization's size, people like me have become more aware. The right has always been united and has pulled even closer together. People cheering for this horrific act are being exposed and losing their jobs. They never learn that their hate won't win. You know, this is the backfire. This is, you know, if we look at, you know, if you just look at, I don't even know if they're, you know, if you go to their website, if they talk about any of this stuff. Charlie's vision, America's future, the fight continues. Charlie Kirk poured his life into building a movement rooted in faith, freedom, and the love of his country. He believed America's future depended on raising up a generation who would never surrender. That vision is alive and stronger than ever. Prayers are rising, support is pouring in, millions of students are rallying, volunteers are flooding in, and vigils are filling churches and schools across the nation. The fire Charlie lit is burning brighter than ever. Now, the responsibility is ours. We will honor his legacy by pressing forward, not slowing down, not surrendering. This is not a time to preserve what was built, but a time to fight harder, grow faster, and unleash the true power of a grassroots machine Charlie created. I mean, I agree. Right? I just think, you know, America Fest this December 18th through the 21st, right before Christmas, will almost certainly be the biggest ever, right? Will certainly be the biggest ever. 94 days from now in Phoenix, Arizona. Hopefully I can get involved with Turning Point and I can be there. You know, obviously they're very busy right now. I'd prefer they take the 32,000 new college chapter requests before they worry about some YouTuber. But this is a cultural shift, a cultural change. This is a reckoning. This is not just, hey, a bunch of people signing up because they're emotional. Like, if they can take this momentum and continue to keep the pressure on, Turning Point's power will probably be greater than Charlie Kirk had ever imagined. And I sincerely hope that this continues. Like, all these people who are getting fired, did you see this? Where is this? Here. Where is this? Here. Wait, where? It was something like a database with 40,000 people's names and employers who celebrated Charlie Kirk's death as being released. I'm for it. Here it is. A searchable database will soon be released, exposing over 50,000 people who celebrated Kirk's death, listing their names and employers. This is an increase from 30,000 and 40,000 in just a couple days. A lot of people are about to get fired. Good. I would prefer society deals with this. You know, I don't want you scooping my ice cream if you're cheering for your people you disagree with to be dead. I don't want my kid playing with your kid. I don't want you in my D&D group. I don't want to support your small business. This is the way you change minds without having any kind of bloodshed or any mass. This is the correct way to deal with it. Shame these people into oblivion. This is how you beat this ideology. You make them the lepers they are. You point out, hey, I used to go to this coffee shop all the time. But you have a barista that cheered for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I just want you to know, I'm not coming in anymore. That barista gets fired, fine. They can go get another job in a coffee shop that caters to those kinds of lunatics. But at the very least, they can know just a tiny bit of discomfort. That would make me a little happy.